Hi, my name is Elizabeth. My CA 125 story started when I was 31 years old. I was having problems with my bowels and had to go to the bathroom every time I ate. I went to my HPV variant doctor, who ran multiple repeat exams and could not find anything. He finally ordered a laparoscopy to be done and they found my cancer.
Elizabeth's 6-month story.
I had a total hysterectomy and 6 months of treatment with carboplatin, and I was diagnosed as cancer-free. Following up after that, being 31 years old, I did not think anything about having had cancer. I went on with my life and then gave up going to the doctor. I did not see any reason to anymore. I was tested as cancer-free, but I forgot about the HPV virus effects. When I turned 40, I started having my yearly well woman and mammograms done, and everything was fine, including the one I had in January 2020. May 29, 2020. I woke up wheezing and had problems breathing and could not get in to see my family doctor as she was on maternity leave and all other doctors were full for the day. I decided to go to the walk-in clinic for an ovarian CA 125 biomarker levels lab cancer test. Something told me not to wait for an opening another day. I thought it was bronchitis maybe, but it was more than likely an asthma attack because the pollen had been high lately, and I had been doing a lot of walking. When the doctor came, he asked some questions and said he wanted to do a chest X-ray to rule out a lung clot since I had had cancer before. He was looking at the results on the lighted screen when I came out from getting dressed, and before he could shut the light off, I saw a large round spot on the right side. Believe me, it was noticeable. He said there was not a clot, but he did want me to go to the ER and have a CT done to make sure he had not missed something, and also to have a breathing treatment and a CA 125 clinic visit. He told me I was not to go shopping or home. For that matter, he wanted me to go straight to the ER. When I got to the ER, they did a CT, and they gave me my breathing treatment and an injection for pain, which, by the way, did help me feel better. The doctor came in and said that there might have been a little bit of lymph node enlargement, and wanted me to get in and see my family doctor within the next couple of weeks. I have never had a doctor tell me anything except your convenience to see a doctor. I knew something was up again, but I'm still not sure. I have some ideas. May 31st, 2020. I was able to make an HPV appointment with a family doctor for the next day, and while I was there, I had another asthma attack and had to have another breathing treatment. She then ordered a PET scan. This is where the warning bells went off. I was lucky they had an opening the very next day, June 6, 2020. I'm back to get HPV results from the family doctor. I forgot to tell you I knew what was happening before I went in. The doctor showed me that 4 different spots on the scan were malignant. He wants to send me to the oncologist, who says he will see me during his lunch break. I decided to go the next day so the doctor would not have to give up his lunch. June 7, 2020. Saw an oncologist today. I have 4 spots: the lung, the right pelvis, the base of the spinal column and the chest wall. My doctor does not think this is correct as I have no symptoms, do not look sick, and it has been 17 years since I first had a test for HPV-derived cancer. He is even wondering if it was ovarian back then, but of course it has been so long ago the hospital is having problems locating my files. The doctor decided to do a biopsy on the pelvis mass to make sure first, and he will make a sample at my husband's insistence. June 11, 2020. I am at the hospital to have a CT-guided biopsy done on my right pelvic mass. The radiologist says, "Okay, let's get you ready for the lung biopsy, so we must stop there and get everything right." It turns out he will not do the pelvic mass because it is right next to an artery, and he does not want to take the chance of puncturing it. The test was not the most fun, but the nurse, tech and doctor were great. The radiologist had a hard time getting any samples, but did get a little bit that was sent off, but it came back inconclusive. The oncologist's office called and scheduled me to see a thoracic surgeon to have a surgical HPV cancer biopsy done. June 14, 2020. Saw a thoracic surgeon today, and after he spoke to a radiologist who did a lung biopsy, he decided to do his biopsy on the chest wall. June 18, 2020. Had surgery on the chest wall today, and later tests confirmed that they removed part of the CA-125 tumor. The lab in the hospital says that it is cancer, and the thoracic surgeon tells me this when he visits after surgery. An appointment is made to see an oncologist on June 20, 2020 to get results. June 20, 2020 lab results still need to be received. The doctor cancelled the appointment and made it for June 28, 2020. June 28, 2020. The doctor says that yes, I have cancer. Oh, and my CA-125 level is 89, which is normal for 35 and under. He went over all the life expectancy stuff that my husband was asking for, and then we got down to treatment. He said we could do nothing and see what happens, or we could start treatment. I said I already knew what I would do, and my husband said he thought we should discuss it like there was anything to discuss. I know he wanted to be involved in the decision-making about the critical HPV infection effects, but my mind was already made up and I decided to make it. That may seem mean, but I did not want to wait another minute. Now we need the portacath. I did not go with one the first time, but I will never go without one again. They make it so much easier. So back to the thoracic surgeon. But we have a problem. My thoracic surgeon will be out of town on Monday, so he can't do my surgery. We have someone new to do it. So I see the surgeon to get the information I need. While walking down the room to see the new HPV doctor, I see my surgeon and tell him I'm mad at him because he will be out of town on Monday and can't do my surgery as promised. But he said he could do it tomorrow, Friday. Happy. You know how it is when you find a doctor you like, even if you have only seen him one time before. It has been 1 month since I went to the walk-in clinic. Today they are inserting my portacath. I won't need general anesthesia, but they will sedate me for a while. July 3, 2020. I went to see my oncologist today for blood work and to find out about my first chemo treatment. The blood work is fine. Treatment is scheduled for July 5, 2020. I will get treatments every 3 weeks, and after the third one, he will rescan and see if there is any change, and if not, he will try a new medicine. July 5, 2020. I am here, and guess what? My orders have not been signed. My husband is about to blow a gasket, and I am one of those who says he will sign them when he gets here. So the nurse takes us back to at least let us know what is going to happen, and give us info on the medication that I will be taking. Carboplatin. I've had one before 17 years ago, but the Taxol is new and it can cause an allergic reaction within the first 15 minutes of getting it if a person has one. So they have to watch me for the first 15 minutes once they give it to me. My oncologist finally showed up about half an hour late, but my orders got signed and he apologized profusely. The doctor had told me I would lose tufts of hair, but the nurse told me I would lose all of it. We will see who is right. These infusion nurses are great. A 6-hour day turned into an 8-hour day with the delays, but it is done. I can now go home and see how I feel. For the next couple of weeks I will get labs done once a week and then have my next treatment. So far there has been no hair loss, but my scalp itches like crazy. I did not get in to get my hair cut beforehand, so strands of hair fall out, and it drives me nuts. So I sit and run my fingers through it and even more comes out, but not enough to make a difference. July 26th, 2020 second treatment. And guess what? My hair is coming out in clumps exactly 3 weeks after my first treatment. I will be bald within a few days. The nurse was right. My brothers and sisters have asked that we move to Fargo to be closer to them, and that if we need any help, they will be there for us. Our son has been helping, but he has to work, and he can't always be there. So we decided we would, and this way I could go to Roger Maris CA-125 Cancer Center in Fargo. I am so excited. I very seldom get to see them. We have moved to Fargo, and I can see a new oncologist, Dr. Preston Steen, on Friday, August 17, 2012. This is the day after I should have had my third treatment. But what can you do? August 17, 2020. I am meeting Dr. Staten for the first time today with my husband, sister, and nephew. Today we talk about his philosophy of kits with treatment and what he thinks. He says he will do a total of 6 treatments, then rescan to see if there are any changes, and then decide if they will change meds and a CA-125 blood report every 3 weeks. He agreed with my first oncologist that I did not look sick or have any symptoms. So we scheduled my next treatment for next week. August 23rd, 2020, first treatment at Roger Maris, and get what? I thought the infusion nurses were nice in Bismarck. They hold nothing on these nurses. These ladies are great. When I left after treatment, they hugged me. I love it. I have to have an Exgava and last injection after my treatments, and they sure don't make me feel good. Have to be honest, in lots of pain from the meds, but expected that. Day 9 and day 15 are usually the worst. The start date is usually day 10, like clockwork, but it can fluctuate. November 9th, 2020. I had my 6th treatment on October 25th, 2012, and it is time for another scan. We'll get the results on the 15th when I am scheduled for another treatment. November 9th, 2020. I got a call from the nurse practitioner. The results revealed that the CA-125 tumor in my chest wall is gone. They do not know if they removed the entire thing during my biopsy surgery or if the chemo killed it. But there is some fluid around my lungs and some lymph node change. Otherwise, all else is the same. November 15th, 2020. I saw the doctor, and he reiterated the same thing and said we would continue with the last 2 treatments as I can only have 8 of this combination. He will reduce it as my hands and feet are very numb. November 21st, 2020. I had my 8th treatment the other day and am now here for my rescan. I will get the lab results after Christmas on December 28, 2012. December 28, 2020. The doctor is very pleased. The rescan shows that the fluid around my lung has disappeared and the lymph node and all other tumors have shrunk. We will continue treatment in 30 days as he wants my body to recuperate and see if some of the neuropathy disappears. My CA-125 home levels are down to 19, at its all-time low during treatment. The doctor did a CA-125 exam every 3 weeks, and during that time it went up a little bit 2 times but went down little by little every other time. So I see the results from my HPV doctor. On January 24th, we will start the new treatment. I believe we will be doing some pills. Overall, I'm very happy with the results, but I also know they can change over time. I'm planning on at least another 17 years. When I think of the comments of my MDS buddies, I realize that none of us know how our medical conditions may progress from the reports after checking, but we can choose not to let that fact control our lives. For my part, I'm preparing to retire and try to carry out some of the things above that I've already said I can do. Frankly, the most important thing we can do now is rejoice in each new day we're given and make memories. Thanks for reading my HPV story. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed writing it.
To subscribe to more stories on this channel, please click on the subscribe link. It's free to subscribe and get more shared stories. We love to share them as we can see that around the world we are often sharing the same health concerns. Also, if you subscribe today, you will receive a personalized coupon voucher for 20% off any laboratory product or appointment during your channel subscriber lifetime. And don't forget to please show your appreciation and hit the like button so we are motivated to create more shared stories for everyone.